What's up, everybody? It is Dankamyouknow, and I am back with another video. And what we're going to be doing today is an OBS tutorial and basically everything you'll need in order to start streaming. And this goes from all of my settings adjustments within OBS and setting up a green screen and setting up your webcam and everything in between. And first of all, I just want to apologize. This video is a little bit longer than I expected. So down in the pinned comment, I'm going to go ahead and leave some time signatures for different parts in the video if you want to go ahead and jump to those. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into it. So in order to start streaming, really the only thing you're going to need is going to be a PC. But if you want to heighten your streams and stick out from the rest, I would highly recommend some kind of webcam. And I use a Logitech C920. And with recording with webcams, what's really important is going to be your lighting. So I'd recommend some kind of ring light. And I actually use an Amazon reading lamp, and it basically just clips to the back of my monitor. But if I need some additional lighting, I do have this floor lamp up here that I can angle towards my face if I'm recording at night or just need more lighting. And another important thing to have is good quality audio. So I would recommend some kind of microphone. Myself, I use a blue Yeti, and the audio quality is absolutely fantastic. And it comes mounted on a boom arm and everything. So I'd recommend some kind of microphone. And the last thing you're going to need, that is optional, but it will make your stream stick out, is some kind of green screen. Now this one just attaches to my chair, and it is called a web around. And I'll go ahead and make sure to link all these down into the description. But if I'm not using it, I can just go ahead and take it off the chair and put it away, so it's not taking up a ton of room. But other than that, those are pretty much the basics for streaming. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into the tutorial. So we are now taking a look at my desktop, and the first thing that you're going to want to do is come down to your browser and type in OBS into your search bar, and then open up their website, which stands for Open Broadcaster Software, and then just go ahead and download it for whichever system that you have. And then once you get it installed, go ahead and run the program. And I have a dual monitor setup, and I have my software set up so I'm recording this monitor, which has nothing currently on it, as you can tell. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the OBS software that is on my other monitor over here. So just bear with me. This might look kind of crazy for a moment, but all right, there is our OBS software. And yours is going to be blank when you get it. There's going to be nothing here, and then you'll see one scene open here. And what I'm going to do is, since I want to start this off fresh, I'm going to start deleting what you see right now, and that is the image that I have here, and then also my webcam. So let's go ahead and click on image, and under sources, we're going to go ahead and click the minus, which is the remove button. Remove that, and then we're going to go ahead and click the video capture device, which is my webcam, and remove that. So goodbye for now. And I'm just going to leave display capture up because that is what I'm using to record my desktop now. And if you want to use display capture, what you're going to do is you're going to click the plus sign, and you're going to click on display capture. So that'll basically record anything that you're doing on the desktop. So once you click display capture, it's also going to bring up this properties menu right away. And I have two monitors, so you'll see display 1 and 2, but I want to record this one. So let's click OK. All right, so now we are recording our desktop. And the next thing we're going to want to do is bring up my webcam. And the way to add other sources, they call them, is you're going to click on the plus, and you're going to see a whole lot of options where you can add here, but we're going to start with video capture device. And let's just title this webcam. Oop. I have to have it capitalized. All right, so we are now looking at my webcam and my green screen. And once you get into the properties for the webcam, you can configure a whole lot of settings, brightness, contrast, but I feel this is really only needed depending on the lighting that you have in your room. And you can also zoom in and autofocus and adjust all these, but I usually don't mess with any of those. So let's just go ahead and click OK. And there are options under here for your webcam. I just leave mine all on the device default. And then let's just go ahead and click OK. All right, so now we got our webcam up and the green screen is there, but we want to go ahead and get rid of the background since I have a green screen. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to right click on our webcam, and then we're going to we're going to click on filters, and then you're going to see effect filters here. And we're going to go ahead and click the plus sign, and a green screen is also known as a chroma key. So let's go ahead and click that, and I'm not going to rename it. And as you can see, the green screen effect is not working. It's kind of blending into the background, but it looks really strange. So just keep this in mind. Depending on the lighting in your room, you may have to make quite a bit of adjustments. So just keep that in mind, that your green screen is not broken, your webcam's not broken. It just takes some adjustments. And I know mine off the top of my head. And if I change similarity to about 460, you can see now that it blends in pretty well, but I'm still a little bit grainy. It still looks a little weird. So we're going to bring smoothness down to about 30. And that actually looks pretty good, but I feel the color's a little bit off. So I'm going to bring the key color spill reduction down to 1. And that right there, I believe, looks best. And I don't mess with any of these other settings. You may need to, depending on your room and lighting, and there's a number of factors that affect how a green screen looks. So let's click close. And as you can see, our green screen effect looks pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I don't think there's anything really to change, but just keep in mind there are a lot of settings to check, and it took me about 20 to 30 minutes to figure all those settings out. So don't get discouraged if your green screen is not working 100% right off the gate. And then what I'm going to do is let's click webcam down here, and then let's resize this a bit. It's a bit big, and right, so there we go. And then also, if you want to fully resize your webcam, you can hold down Alt, and you can permanently resize your webcam. So let's go to about like right there, get my microphone in there, boom. And there we go. I usually leave it about right here when I stream, but I also have a little sign under my webcam that shows my name, just so people don't forget when they're watching me stream. And the way we're going to add that is we're going to go down to our plus sign, and then we're going to go to image, and let's just leave it entitled image. Then let's go to browse, and then I'm going to click the file that I want. And then let's go ahead and resize this to about the width of the webcam. And that's actually pretty close. I almost got it. That's pretty close right there. So even that, I got to go up a little bit. Oops. Let's go ahead and click OK first. And then let's click on image, and then let's move this up a hair. There we go. That looks perfect. So now that's sitting right below my webcam. And let's just say I want to move my webcam around as you... Oops. Excuse me. Let's click webcam first. So just say I want to move my webcam. See how Dankamyouknow stays in place. So I don't want to move both at the same time every time. So the best way to do this is let's go ahead and right click on webcam, and let's click group selected items, and let's just leave it titled group, but we're going to drag image into the group. So now I have the image and my webcam grouped together. And if I click on group, I can move these wherever I want, and they stay together. And even with resizing, they will stay together. So, whoa, that's large and in charge. All right, so let's keep that about right there. So that looks great. And even right now, I believe we're already stream ready. But the next thing I want to show you is how to record your game, which is probably what everybody is interested in. So we're doing a display capture right now, but we want to record a game. And display capture works, but I feel the best way is to use either within the plus menu, game capture or window capture. And I really like window capture because for me it seems to work the best. And sometimes within game capture, I get some flickering, and I'm not sure why. I may have to look into that, but window capture seems to work the same. And so before we add a window capture, let's go ahead and open the window that I want to open. So I already have Rocket League open. So I may go blank here for a second, but just excuse me while I get this running. So it is open. And I'm going to go ahead and head back to OBS. And right now I'm on display capture, so you can still see it. But what I'm going to want to do is click this, click window capture, and let's entitle this game. And then within our window here, you're going to see Rocket League. So let's click Rocket League, OK. And you can't see me right now, but let's go back to OBS and then let's click display capture and let's get rid of this for now. Do you wish to remove? Yes. So right now we have our game, and let's go back to group, and it looks like I need to maybe put it like right here. Let's resize this a little bit more. It's kind of big. So that looks good. And then so now we are recording the Rocket League window and only the windows. So if I go back to my desktop right now, you would not be able to see it. So there is a lot of privacy that's involved with game capture and window capture. And one thing that's really important that I want to show you guys is down here where it shows all of your sources. You're going to want to make sure that the order is correct. And let's go ahead and go back to display capture because the game is kind of messing things up. All right, so let's minimize that. All right, so we're back. And like I was saying about the order, let's just say I did put display capture first. Oops, I put it in the group by accident. Excuse me. So if I put display capture first, you can see that I completely go away. So you want to make sure that it is in the correct order. So the webcam is the foremost object that I want to be seen. So just make sure that you have these in the correct order, because if you don't, some things will not appear. So yeah, let's move on to our audio mixer. And this is extremely important because you want to make sure your audio levels are correct. And you want to make sure that OBS is actually recording your audio, because I've ran into this multiple times where I've clicked record and I've got this all set up. And then I found out my desktop audio, which is my game audio, this one right here, was not recording. So that's going to kind of segue into the next part here, and we're going to go into settings. And then let's go ahead and start in general. One I feel is really important is switching to dark theme. I do not like any of these other ones. So I switched to dark, and then you can also do system, but that is way too bright for me. So let's click dark, apply. And then I don't really mess with any of these settings within general. You can look through them and see if there's anything that you would like to change, but I don't change any of these. And then under stream, under service, you're going to select which streaming service that you are using. So if you're using Twitch, you go ahead and click Twitch. And if you're using YouTube Gaming, go ahead and select YouTube Gaming. And then the stream key down here. So when you start streaming, say on YouTube or Twitch, once you are about to start streaming, it's going to give you a key. So you're going to copy that key from whatever streaming service you're using, and then you're going to paste it here. And then apply is going to appear, and then you're going to go ahead and click apply, and that tells the streaming service that you're using OBS, and OBS is sending your streaming information to that streaming service. I hope that made sense. But let's go ahead and click apply, which we don't need to, but if we change anything, we would. And then here under output, this is going to be one that's really important, and I'll get into this one in a second. But your bit rate is super important, and it's really dependent on quite a few things. So whether you're streaming or recording, you're going to want to make sure your bit rate is correct. And then coming down to my browser here, let's go ahead and look at this website, which is for NVIDIA's. And then based off what your upload speed is, so you're going to want to use speedtest.net. And based off what your upload speed is, that's going to be pretty close to what your bit rate is. And it kind of tells you which, at what resolution, what bit rate you're going to want to use. But this you're going to really want to mess around with, because I've noticed that Twitch, the bit rate, they like 25 to 3500. But even using YouTube, I'll get up to 10,000 bit rate before I get a clear picture. So this is going to take quite a bit of adjustment depending on your interconnection. So make sure you run a speed test and see what your upload speed is, and then based off that, that's what you're going to set your bit rate to. But I normally use different scenes for different streaming services. So, and what I mean by that is, so down here I have my stream, and just say this will be stream YouTube, and then I'll have another one that is stream Twitch. And then each service requires different settings, so I have two different scenes so I can switch back and forth easily to tailor to what that streaming service requires. So let's go back into settings. And then once you're in recording, you can also select where you want your recording path once you record videos. And I always record an MP4, and I think that's about the only settings to look at in here. Then under audio, this one's extremely important too. Your desktop audio, that's basically going to be your game audio. So I have a couple different audio options. So I have my Realtek. This is what my computer speakers are hooked up to. And then I have my gaming headset. So as of right now, I'm not wearing my headset. So I'd probably want to select Realtek audio to record my my in-game audio. Or if I'm wearing my headset, I'll want to click that. And usually you can leave it on default, but just be careful, like I was saying before, it may not be recording. So you may have to come back in here and change your desktop audio to the correct one. And we're not using desktop audio 2. We don't have another audio source coming in. And then mic, I always leave on Yeti stereo microphone. This is what I use for all audio for everything, and that's Discord, recording right now. This is all through my Yeti. And then all these other settings you don't really need to mess with. I just leave these all as is. And then coming down into video, you're going to want to make sure your base resolution is at 1440p. That's what mine is at. So you want to make sure yours is selected to whatever yours is. And I can't adjust mine right now because I'm recording. And then I usually my output is scaled down to 1080p because most streaming services don't like that high of a resolution. And even Twitch seems like it runs the best at 720. So just keep in mind that you are going to have to change your scale resolution to get a clean and stable stream depending on the service. And like I said, I'm sorry I can't be more specific, but different streaming services require different things. So you're just going to have to mess around with it a little bit. But your base is what it's recording. I'm always in 1440p, and it's being output into 1080p. And then let's go ahead and click apply, even though I didn't change anything. And then I don't use any hotkeys, but you can set up different shortcuts for when you start streaming, stop recording. I don't use any of these, but I may look into it and see. Switching scenes would probably be pretty helpful depending on how you use those. And then under advanced, I haven't touched any of these adjustments. And my streams and recordings always look pretty darn good. So yeah, I think that does it as far as settings go. And just keep in mind, the bit rate is probably the most important one, and you're just going to have to mess with it once you start streaming. It could be as low as 2500, but it depends on your internet connection and the streaming service and when you're streaming, because there may be more people on the network that are streaming at that time. So just mess around with your bit rate. But I would say anywhere usually from 25 to 4500, and then especially for YouTube, and then your system higher is usually better. So mess around with those and see what works best for you. So I think that does it as far as settings go. And then start streaming. So if you want to start streaming, once you have YouTube or Twitch ready, You click start streaming and you'll have your streaming key in there, and then it will start broadcasting it to that service. And then right now I have, it'll say stop recording because I'm currently recording, but it'll say start recording. And then I'm not sure what the virtual camera is because I use my webcam. And then studio mode is used so you can make adjustments while you're streaming and recording. So it may be worth looking into that. And then there also are scene transitions. So if you have multiple scenes, so right now I have this scene where it's just, my face in the top left corner, but just say I want to transition to a screen that just is my entire face. Let's just say you're in between game and you want to talk to your stream. You can set up another one, and then you can set up transitions between the streams. So just say I were to click on another scene, it would transition to that one. And I have it set to fade, but you can have it do a swipe effect, sliding, stinger, fade to color. So there's a whole mess of different transitions that you can mess with. Then other than that, I believe that is it as far as OBS Studio is concerned. I don't think there's anything that I missed, but let's just make sure. And yeah, I think we just about covered everything. So I apologize for such a long video. I did the tutorial part in one take, so it is a little bit rough, but I feel that I got all the information across that I wanted to get out there. And like always, if you have any questions or concerns, please comment down below and subscribe if you are new. And please like the video if you liked it, or dislike it if you disliked it. And I hope this video was informative. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see y'all in the next video.